Namaskar, good morning, and welcome back to our channel VLSI for All, a hub for technical education and an epicenter for affordable VLSI coaching in India. Today, we're indeed proud and honored to have with us Mr. Anirban Chaudhary, sir. Sir is currently doing his PhD from the University of Notre Dame. Sir has done his post-graduation from IIES Shibipur, West Bengal, in microelectronics and communication and VLSI. Apart from this, Sir also has worked as a research scholar at IIT Roorkee. Sir, with your kind permission, can we start the questionnaire?
Yeah,
Yes. Anirban, can you please introduce yourself in more detail so that our audience can take an inspiration from you and your profile?
yeah. As you told that I've completed my bachelor's in 2017 in electronics and communication engineering, and after that I think that I have to carry forward my journey in the VLSI domain. So I started and I've done my master's in microelectronics and VLSI from IIST Shibpur. And in the time of my master's, I got opportunity in a research project in IIT Roorkee, and then I worked on that project. And after that, I joined IIT Roorkee as a PhD candidate, and I was there for like 5 to 6 months, and then I have joined VLSI, actually a digital VLSI company, DXR Design, and on that company I worked as an memory design engineer. Okay, and then I thought I have to work in some experimental domain, and I applied in USA for many like 5, 6 universities, and I got admit from University of Notre Dame, and then I have start my PhD from fall 2022 in University of Notre Dame.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Moving on, can you please tell us about how did you get interested in the core electronics domain in a world where many people are switching their careers to the computer science domain?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question. Actually, I have no actually when I was in undergrad, I also have no idea about that. Okay, so in the I think it when I was in third year in my undergrad, I started a project under my supervisor on VLSI domain. And when I'm starting a project, do some simulations on digital VLSI circuits, then I have gained some interest and knowledge on that topic. And somehow then I thought, okay, I can carry forward my career or my academics in that VLSI domain. And in my when I went to in my master schools in IST Shibpur, and then I experience some beautiful subjects I read like advanced semiconductor devices or like digital low power VLSI. So those subjects that's really interesting for me. And then I thought, okay, so uh, don't go to the software domain or software area. Like the VLSI domain is fitted for me or suited for me. And then I just joined in PhD and then that the core semiconductor company. And then now I am here like in University of Notre Dame.
Yes, yes, sir. Uh, how was your experience with the DXR design company as a memory design engineer? Because that's
Yeah.
like the memory design engineer is the most least heard thing, like as of as far as you know, because many people boast about having a job as a physical design engineer or an ethic engineer. So memory design engineer is a
Yeah,
new thing for us. So can you please
yeah,
elaborate on
yeah.
that?
Actually, in India, the maximum VLSI jobs the company offered for like RTL or ASIC design engineer and like a DST engineer and physical design engineer. So actually, DXCore is a startup company, okay, and especially I am working on circuit design. There are part of that company. One group is working on the layout things and Verilog coding, and another team is working on the basic circuit design and digital circuit design. So I mainly worked on that domain, the circuit design and like SRAM design. That pipeline structure design for SRAM memory and those kind of things. So it's a nice experience because there's the first time I worked on a semiconductor based company. I don't know before that what is the environment in semiconductor company, what are the industry tool they used. Okay, so like the in that company first learned the Cadence Virtuoso software. They used the Cadence Virtuoso to like design the circuits of digital VLSI circuit, for digital circuits and the memory design. So that's a nice learning curve for me, and that is it's a very good experience.
Yes, sir, that's very cool. Moving on, why did you decide to pursue your master's in India and PhD in USA? Any specific reason for that? Could you please tell us about it?
Like the first specific reason is that for getting masters in USA is easier than getting PhD. Okay, but the problem is that in getting when you are getting masters in USA, it takes a lot of money. Okay, because if you go in a public school also, or like the state university, this also take like at least in Indian currency 20 30 40 lakhs. Okay, that is one reason. The second reason that when I was in undergrad, I don't have so much idea about the USA masters and PhD, those kind of things. That at that time I only knew about the GATE examination, and like crack GATE examination we can get good IITs or NITs for our like a master. So at that time, so I just prepared for the GATE examination and I got a good rank and I got admitted on the IST Shibpur. But yes, the one reason for me doing masters in India is like I at that time I have not enough exposure of USA, and second thing is the money is another issue because in masters you don't get it's 90% case you don't get any scholarship. Okay, so we have to bear all the expenses. So that's a big issue for masters.
Yes, sir. Moving on, sir. Uh, is MS in India better with respect to MTech? Sorry, is MS in USA better with respect to MTech in India in the perspective of academics, job opportunities, funding, scholarships? Like why? And if can you please elaborate a bit?
Yeah, actually this question is a good question, but it depends up the perspective is the most important term for this. Like what you need like what you need for for a master's degree or MS degree. Yeah, of course, like if you get an get a MS degree from US, the job exposure is much higher than India. There's no question about it. But another thing is like that, the monetary problem is another problem. Like many people don't have so much money to for to give in the US in this US school for his MS degree. Okay, yeah, like if you and for academic standard, you can if you can ask me that is the standard is same in MS school or the masters in like topmost universities in India, then I can say more or less same. But okay, in US the programs are specifically specifically designed for more application based that helps you to get a job and those kind of things.
Yes, sir. Could you please
Mm.
guide our viewers on what exams have to be given to secure an admission into a PhD program in the USA? And what are these steps you followed to secure an admission at the University of Notre Dame?
Okay, so the main thing is like that the two exam is necessary for all the international students. One is GRE and another is TOEFL or IELTS for English proficiency test. Whatever you can take, what like either TOEFL or either IELTS. But for PhD, the most important thing is that the GRE marks is not so necessary. But some universities nowadays, like last 2 3 years, some universities are like they don't take GRE score also. Okay, but it's a good practice that you have a GRE score along with that either IELTS or TOEFL score. So these two exams you have to like take have to give for if you want to pursue your master's degree or PhD degree in USA. And for PhD, the most important thing is that you have to write your SOPs and the research proposal minutely. That what you actually want to do. That is the most important thing. And first, you just like mm, research on the search the professor's profile on the university. That's which professor profile is exactly suited for you, and then mail them, ask them about their lab, how much, what kind of work they're like doing in their lab, and then you just applied on that specific university for your master's and PhD. But the most important thing is first is SOP and research proposal, and second is the networking. Networking means to mail those professors who are like is the like under which you are try to work, like whose domain are suited for you. That is the two main things, and then you have to take GRE and either TOEFL or IELTS examination for your English proficiency test.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
To be more specific, why did you choose the University of Notre Dame to pursue a PhD in?
Yeah, like actually I applied for 6 universities in US. Okay, so apart from among those 6, I got admit from the 5 universities, and those 5 universities, Notre Dame is one of the most best university in terms of ranking and research outputs and like the scholarship they uh, gave gave me. That's the one of the criteria. And the second criteria is the supervisor. Actually, my primary focus is always want to I always want to work the experimental domain in the fabrication. So my supervisor is like his group is totally in the fab group, like work on the microfabrication and that domain. So that's the basic two reason to choose University of Notre Dame among the others, like that the other university got admit. Like
Yes, sir. Uh, so sir, when I went through your profile on LinkedIn and what Rajat sir told me, I found that you maintained a very good CGPA during your undergrad and master's while doing some good projects and research papers. Like, how did you manage your time?
no, like though like you told my CGPA is good. Hey, it's good but not exceptional. I my CGPA is like around 8.5 in bachelor's and master's. Like yeah, like if you have a good idea about the subjects, you know the subject well, your fundamentals is clear, then you can like the project you have done, the research you are doing. That's basically that the fundamentals of those research and project is the basic understanding of that subject. So if you have the basic understanding of the subjects, you can get a good marks. That are not a big issue. For me, it's like that. Like I try to always understand the subjects very basics and what is the fundamental things of that subject, and then that's my strategy for preparation in like courses or subjects, and that helps me to acquire this kind of CGPA.
Yes, sir. Can you please tell us, our audience, about some of your favorite projects or research papers that you have published and worked on?
Okay, favorite project, like the project I worked on IIT Roorkee, that's a Gate All Around Fate project. That's a very interesting project. And now I am working on in University of Notre Dame this project on aluminum nitrate resonator, and that is another fascinating project. And the paper that I have published mainly, I published the paper on adiabatic on adiabatic logic. So like the paper that I may be the first author of that paper, that the reversible logic gates, and this paper is a very good paper I have published in IEEE Explore. And at that time, very few people work on that area. Now there's a lots of papers on this domain, so it's a good experience for at that time for me, like to have published this kind of paper.
Yes, sir. Uh, how do you find your motivation to publish papers or do projects? Like, do you see someone's projects and try to extend that a little bit, or you start from scratch by seeing a problem statement? How do you work upon that?
No, actually, in when I was in undergrad, like my supervisor has a lot of contribution in for my papers and projects. Okay, and at that time I don't know much more things, and he helped me a lot. Okay, and in that, but in IIT Roorkee, when I started the project in Get All Around Fit, that project I started from the scratch. But yeah, why is it why it is fascinating? Because like uh, in our electronics domain, like now the mobiles and those laptops are working on the FinFET technology, and all the big giant of semiconductors like Intel, TSMC, they are like pushing from 5 nanometer to 2 nanometer, 3 nanometer, and they that repeatedly told that the new device structure about that the someone told Gate All Around Fate, someone told Ribbon Fate. So there's some very interesting and booming domain nowadays. So when I got this kind of project, and I am really like excited, and I started to uh, preparing from some papers of my supervisors on some like articles from TSMC and Intel, and then from that I got the motivation and like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is a very pertinent question, sir. Many people ask us this one. There's always a complaint in the student community that there's no linkage between what is being taught in class and what the industry expects when we work on a job. How do you address this issue?
Yeah, it's a burning issue, but the thing is that like yeah, you can't get industry standard things in your class and your coursework. But my advice is like if you want to carry forward your career in the VLSI domain or semiconductor domain, two things you have to learn properly. One is MOSFET, one is CMOS and digital circuits. If you learn those things theoretically very good, theoretically your theoretical knowledge is good, then you can easily cope up with the industry standards. Yes, for industry standards, if you know the Verilog, VHDL programming, that's give you an extra edge. That's nice. But the first thing you have to know the CMOS and MOSFET the fundamental things of CMOS and MOSFET very well. But unfortunately, many of the students don't know those things. So first you know the CMOS and MOSFETs and digital circuits, then you can get easily to the industry, and you can habituate it with that or cope up with the industry standards and those kind of things.
Yes, sir. Sir, what would you like to say to our audience who are inclined to pursue their masters and PhD in the US? Like, how would you ask them to prepare mentally to cope up with the challenges they might face there?
Uh, First thing is like, yeah, it's a hard. It's not easy to do PhD in US or either masters. First thing is like, first challenge you like leave your family's friends and came here in a different culture, different atmosphere. That's one challenge. Second challenge is that standard is like if you are not from IITs or NITs like that, or a good in like Jadavpur, Shivpur like that. If you are doing a decent job, your bachelor's or master's in a private university or state universities, then one thing you must work hard. Like for IITs and IIT students also, they also want have need some they need to put much more hard work. But for other universities, because like course structure is not as vast like IITs or NITs, they must put work hard, I mean, very hard work to cope up this kind of structure and like study. But one thing in USA is very good. Like if you don't know those things, the professor they don't expect like you know everything. Okay, so they give you time. You can learn by himself and then can apply those things. But one thing you must like, it's not a easy. First of all, it's not a easy things. You really like you really need a much more things to learn, and hard work is needed to pursue PhD and masters like in USA. So this is, and one thing like I can just add is with this like all of um, it's like the course structure and the project is always like application based. So it's not like you can you just mug up some formulas and things and just write it, like not that way. So you have to, your fundamental must be clear. The fundament on the basics of a subject must be clear. Then only you can apply those things in application.
Yes, sir. Sir, how would you stay up to date with the latest trends and development in your field? Like, do you go through journals regularly or go through research papers regularly? How would you do it?
Yeah, like as a PhD student, you have to read research papers and journals. And another thing to up to date the current scenario, like I'm working on the semiconductor device. Now, what is going on in the semiconductor industry? What is the new technologies coming? For that, one good platform is LinkedIn. You can follow the good semiconductor industry, like their page, like Intel, TSMC, Samsung, IBM, like what the new articles, what they are trying to do. That's the one basic very good habits. And you can follow some good professors of eminent universities. What are they working? What the new research they are doing? So from that you can get enough information to up to date yourself.
Yes, sir. Can you please particularly tell about a challenging problem you have to solve, like you had to solve in your work, and how did you overcome it?
Like I have already solved. You can
Yeah,
okay.
already solved.
So
Yeah.
already solved. Like when I was in BTech, the many things like the basic CMOS design, the power consumption is much more. So, and from for that reason, the adiabatic logic circuits is one of the most pioneer tool or pioneer approach to reduce the power consumption. And we design such a way the circuit complexity reduces and the power consumption also reduces. Okay, and that's why we publish some 6 7 papers on that domain. So that's the mm, like challenge I got on at that time, and I successfully tackled that.
Yes, sir. Like, how would you approach a problem-solving method and decision-making in your thesis and PhD work? Could you please walk us through your process?
Like for problem solving, the one thing is like you just first analyze the problem, then part it some way, some small segments, and take a small segment and then work on that. For that small segment, you can refer some research papers, some books, and your basic understandings. And when you first solve a small part, then go to the next part, and then just it's like a integrating process. Take a small pieces, solve it, and then at the end you just integrate whole things, and you can get the results.
Yes, sir. We have come to the end of the interview, sir. It was indeed very great talking to you. As an engineer
Yeah,
myself,
thank you.
I felt that many jigsaw puzzles in my mind have been solved and clarified, like based on the masters and PhD processes you have discussed. Hope to see you on yet another episode on our YouTube channel, sir. Until then, a goodbye, study hard, and take care. Signing off. This is Anurag. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.